What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today in this video, it's going to be a quick one, but it's going to be a good one. We're going to be talking about what business model is going to make you quit your 9 to 5. Now, if I had to guess, you're probably working a 9 to 5. That's why you clicked on this video. And in that 9 to 5, at least for me, when I used to work at my 9 to 5, the things that I hated was the commute, was the coworkers that I had to deal with, as well as the forensic, and I'm probably saying that wrong, but the forensic lighting. All of those gave me migraines. And on top of that, I had to deal with the coworkers, I had to deal with the clients and the staff and all of the customers. It was no bueno, okay? It was so obnoxious. That's something that I really hated about my 9 to 5. Now, maybe it's different for you. Maybe it's the fact that you have to commute to the office. Maybe it's labeled as a 9 to 5, but it's really an 8 to 6 because you got to get up an hour early just to get ready. And then the traffic and then going home, everything like that, it is so obnoxious. Now, maybe it's a bit different for you. Maybe for you, it's financial. Maybe you're not getting paid enough. Maybe you can't work enough. Maybe you just need more hours. Whatever the reason is, I can almost guarantee you, you don't like it and you want to get out of that position. So good thing that you clicked on this video, because today we're going to be going over this exact business model that will make you quit your 9 to 5. So before we get into it, just a little update on today. Today was one of those days where no matter how hard you tried to focus on, you just couldn't get your work done. I had like probably 15 things on my to-do list and I only got like 3 of them done. But those 3 things that I got done, they were quite important, so I'm happy about that. We're gonna bang out this video and then we're gonna be back to the almost daily uploads. So with that being said, the business model or the business that you can start today that will make you quit your 9 to 5 is a VAS business, VAS. Now, what is a VAS business, VAS? It's virtual accounting services. There's an ambulance going by, so I'm gonna let that go by. Okay, pretty much gone. So what is a VAS? It is a virtual accounting service business. Now, the beauty of this kind of business, and before we even get into it, if you're wondering who am I to speak on this kind of business, I started my own just over a year ago and I managed to build it from 0 to over 6 figures in total revenue in under 12 months. So that I kind of know what I'm talking about when I talk about this kind of business model in particular. So VAS, Virtual Accounting Services Business. What is that? What does that do? What kind of service is that? Obviously accounting, but what kind of accounting? Well, really any kind of accounting you want. This can cover personal tax returns, corporate tax returns, VAT, GST, as well as business monthly bookkeeping and payroll, account receivables, account payables. There's a whole bunch of micro niches within a VAS business. Now, something that I did is I niched down into the business bookkeeping. For me, that was an easy way to get monthly recurring revenue. And the beauty about that business is every single business that I talked to needed it. So it wasn't really like if you run a content agency, only really car dealerships need it. Maybe if you're going into e-commerce, stuff like that. Every single business in the entire world has to file a tax return. And for businesses, if they want to file a tax return, they have to have good bookkeeping. So every single business needs a bookkeeper and a good one. So now that you know what kind of business will make you quit your 9 to 5, you want to ask yourself, how is that business going to make you quit your 9 to 5? Well, it's quite simple. Okay, it covers off the 3 areas that I need in my life. That is location freedom, time freedom, and financial freedom. And this business covers all of that. Let's start with number 1, location freedom. If this was the early 2000s, maybe you're right. You would have to set up a brick and mortar location and have people and clients and customers come into you. You couldn't really do this online. The softwares just weren't that advanced, and the technology that was back then couldn't service that type of business. But now, ever since COVID, in the accounting industry, the software has been so developed where you can be in Baghdad and you can do a corporate tax return for a US company, okay? So that checks off location. I have clients all over Canada. That's where I'm based, is out of Canada. Just to get quick cash flow in, I tapped into the US market and I had a lot of US clients. So as a Canadian, I was able to get US clients. That took care of my location issue. So now that we had location, we needed time. I couldn't go to a brick and mortar location or work for someone else. I needed time on my side. So how could I do that? Well, again, the software that is in the accounting industry is quite advanced now, where I can automate almost 100% of my bookkeeping that I do for my business clients. Now, what do I mean by automate that? Well, basically, I can set it up in a way where once I get all of my clients' data, the software does all the work for me. So I could be out on the beach and my client can send in all of the records and the software will automatically do the bookkeeping. Obviously, there's some points that I have to check and go through, but that's for another video for the actual doing the service. So, time freedom. My time was not restricted to anything. I could do the actual work at 2 a.m. I could do it at 10 a.m. I could do it at 5 p.m. whenever I wanted. If on a Tuesday I was feeling sick and I wanted to sleep in or I wanted to go to bed early, I could do that. I wasn't restricted by a 9 to 5 where if I was at an office location, it doesn't matter if I'm sick, I need to stay there until 5 o'clock, right? And sometimes later. So in terms of time freedom, this absolutely does it. And if I wanted to take a mini vacation anywhere, I could do that. Personally, that's not my style. If I'm going on vacation, I like to fully go on vacation and not have to worry about work. I don't really like vacationing and working at the same time. I don't really like it, but that's just me. If you want to do that, you can 100% do that. You could get clients and you could do their bookkeeping and you could be out in Europe vacationing while doing that work quite easily. In fact, I know a lot of people that do that. I'm kind of jealous of them sometimes. Anyways, so we've taken care of location freedom. We've taken care of time freedom. Now we're going to touch up on financial freedom. This business is perfect for financial freedom. And what do I mean by that? Is put this, let's say this for an example. If I were to run a content marketing agency, okay, or even a Facebook ads agency, if I signed a client in September, I can only bill for that year, September, October, November, December. That's if they stay for 4 months, which they usually don't. So the reason why I bring that up is if I sign a bookkeeping client in September, they still need January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, all the way to September. So it doesn't matter when I sign a client throughout the year. I can bill them for the entire year. And almost every single one of my clients have done that. They've come to me during the summertime because they've avoided it all year, which everyone does. So they come to me during the summertime / fall time. So I can sign clients in September, October, and I can bill them for work that would have been done in January. That is the beauty of this kind of business. And another thing about that is every single business needs it. Okay, I lightly touched up on this earlier, but just like I said, every single business in the entire world needs bookkeeping. Okay, they need to file a tax return. In order to file, you need proper bookkeeping to make the actual financial statements. And let's just say they didn't have to file. Okay, let's say that this was Dubai of 2020, which now Dubai has a corporate tax, so you now have to file. So if you're based in Dubai and you need bookkeeping, hit me up. Anyways, moving on. Shameless plug, but whatever. So, and every business in the world needs bookkeeping, okay? Dubai now has corporate tax, so Dubai corporations now need bookkeeping in order to do up tax returns. And let's say for sake, if this was 2008 Dubai, okay? And you didn't have to file a corporate tax return. Maybe you did, but let's just say that you didn't. Let's say there's a country, 100% zero tax, don't even have to file, government doesn't care. As a business owner, you start a business to make money. How are you gonna know how much you're making, how much you're spending, what your equity is worth, how much you're gonna pay yourself, what your monthly profits are? How are you gonna know that without bookkeeping? That's essentially what bookkeeping is. It is categorizing all of the business financial activity. So if you don't have bookkeeping, You don't know if your business is making money or not. You're kind of just winging it. You're kind of just guessing, which, by the way, most businesses that do that, they usually end up going bankrupt or they have very little profit. I've seen it firsthand. So with that said, even if they don't have to file a tax return, they still want bookkeeping. So this is quite literally every single business in the entire world needs bookkeeping. So the world is quite literally your market. So that takes care of the financial aspect, okay? Because every single business in the world needs it. And the minimum that at least I charge is $250 per month. That is my minimum. Even if $250 for you is overkill, that's just my minimum. If you want to work with me, it's a minimum $250 a month. I know some bookkeepers who go lower. I know some who go higher. For me, I'm good at $250. My average monthly subscription client on a monthly basis is $550. So that's what my average monthly subscription is. And to do the actual work doesn't take long, and it's because of the software. That's my favorite part about this, is it really doesn't take long. A client that I charge, say $500-600 a month, on a monthly basis, I spend probably 3 to 5 hours a month, max 5 hours. It's more like 3, but let's just say 5 hours max. So for 5 hours, I get paid $650. That's not bad. Now let's say I don't want to do that work. We haven't even talked about outsourcing to the Philippines or India or anything like that. And you might say, oh, well, there's a language barrier. Not really, okay? The people that you're outsourcing to don't communicate with your clients. You do. So the language isn't really that big of a deal. At the end of the day, you're looking at numbers. Doesn't matter what language you speak, numbers are going to be the same, right? And bookkeeping is going to be the same. So with that said, that is the business model that will make you quit your 9 to 5, because that is going to give you location, time, and financial. All three of those will give you freedom, something that your 9 to 5 can't. So ladies and gentlemen, with that said, thank you very much for staying until the end of this video. If you got some value from that, go ahead and drop a like. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.